This Monday, Turkey said that NATO air defences shot down a second Iranian ballistic missile that had entered its airspace. Ankara is warning it would move against any such threats, which increasingly pose a test for NATO. The incident in the south of Turkey marks the second intercepted missile from Iran in the last 7 days. Turkey, which is NATO's second largest army, and it's worth noting, Iran's neighbour, had warned Tehran on Saturday against attacking again, but it's not suggested it wants to formally call on NATO members for further protection. France, meanwhile, has joined in. The Foreign Ministry says Iran has to stop its unjustified strikes in the region. Let's go live to our correspondent, Jasper Mortimer. He's awaiting us in Ankara, capital of Turkey. Jasper, good evening to you. Turkey in the firing line. Tell us about the country's reaction.
Well, so far, Mark, the reaction has been calm. You know, there are photographs of the fragments of the missile shot down today. They're all over the television channels, but they're not causing shock. You know, 2 missiles have been fired at Turkey in 5 days, ostensibly at Incirlik, a base in the south near the city of Adana, where America has dozens of fighter jets and bombers and reportedly nuclear warheads. But both missiles have been shot down harmlessly. So this shows NATO air defenses work. And for that reason, the reaction is calm. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan gave a speech early this evening in which he said the necessary warnings had been given to Iran, but despite these, Iran continues to take, quote, the wrong steps. And then he said, nobody should insist on doing wrong. Nobody should fall into the trap of the Zionist massacre organization, that's his euphemism for the Israeli government, of making brother kill brother. And by that he means Iranians and Turks are Muslim brothers. And then interestingly, he also said, we are watching the terrorist entities in the region. By that, he was referring to the Iranian Kurdish organization in the northeast of Iraq, which indicated last week that it would be happy to go into Iran and engage Iranian government forces. And initially, President Donald Trump said he would welcome that. But then it looks as if wiser people spoke in Trump's ear because he walked back from that offer to help the Iranian Kurdish militia.
Is there any sense, Jasper, given what you've told us about the NATO defences working, there must be a sense, though, among people that this could escalate. It takes one missile to fall in the wrong place, one issue like that to really create outrage. Turkey, of course, having that border with Iran. Is there a feeling that this could escalate?
Well, escalation is certainly a potential possibility. And Mark, the Incirlik Air Base is 10 kilometers from the center of Adana, a city of 1.8 million people. So if a missile were to puncture NATO air defenses and be slightly off course, it would land in a residential area of Adana and cause civilian casualties. And Turkey certainly doesn't want that. But, you know, so far in this war, Iran has been targeting the assets of its enemies, the US and Israel. Now, the US has 2 military assets in Turkey, Incirlik and the Kırıcık radar station, which is also in the east of Turkey. Now, so far, Iran has failed to hit Incirlik, and there is no evidence that it has even tried to hit Kırıcık. Escalation would actually mean Iran hitting Turkish assets. So far, there's no sign of that, and I think there's a reason. You know, when this war began, Turkey was the only regional power that condemned Washington outright. The Gulf states didn't like America starting this war, but they didn't condemn Washington. Turkey did. And I think Iran is grateful for that, and I think Iran sees Turkey as a potential mediator when the time comes for bringing this conflict to an end.
Jasper Mortimer, as always, thank you for your analysis of the situation. Jasper Mortimer, our correspondent in Ankara. Thank you for joining us, sir.